Hi, I'm Deb from Skein Sisters. So second on the list today of new products from Chiaogoo is their new 8cm tips. Now I'm going to go through exactly why we're so excited about this, and it's all about small circumference knitting on larger sizes, or larger gauges, I should actually say. Now what they look like is this. They're very, very sweet. So that's they go from a 5.5 up to an 8mm. Now the other ones that we've got that's our scanner. It's so noisy. We've got 10cm long and 13cm long. So it's all about what you prefer, whether you want to use the 13 or the 10cm long ones. But the 8cm just make a difference on so many other factors. Now, the problem that's been up till now, and they've only just been released in Australia this week, is that you weren't able to do those small circumferences, so sleeves, socks, that sort of thing, on anything going round and round and round. You could do magic loop, you could do double pointed needles, but if you're like me and I just like to go round and round and round and round with no stopping, I want those little tiny needles that can form those little circles. So in the 23cm fixed and the 30cm fixed, they stop at 5mm. So if you're doing anything in a 10 ply gauge, a 12 ply gauge and higher, there was no option to actually be able to do those little tiny circles. And these 8cm have totally changed it. I'm gonna just stop there and say you could do it in the 40cm, but I can't, they're too fat and too wide for my sleeves. So I've got a jumper here that Helen is making at the moment. It's the Earth and Air by James Watts. She did one sleeve here using 10cm tips and a 20cm cable, which gave her 40cm around. And she said she was pulling it really tightly around and it just wasn't actually being able to move freely on her needles. So what she's got now, hang on, we'll take off our coconut stitch stoppers, which we love too. She's now got the 8cm tips on there with the new swivel cable, because she wanted to try those out too, and said knitting it last night, it was absolutely perfect. It moves freely around. It's small enough that the stitches are just bunched up just a little bit, which is what you want, and it makes it really easy. Now, one little tip that she actually had too, and I think I sort of do this unconsciously sometimes, is she uses a 6.5 on her right-hand needle. Now that's the one that you're knitting onto, and that's where the size of the stitch is going to form. On her left-hand needle, she's used a 5.5, so it's just that 1mm smaller, which means that the stitches flow really easily. They don't get caught as they come off the cable and onto the needle again. And that doesn't affect the gauge. The gauge is actually going to be formed as you're making it onto your right-hand needle. So really good little tip there. She's making it in Rios and Kremke Soul Silky Kid. Look at that fab combination. Now, we've got a whole lot of other, if you're really intrigued by this idea of doing small circumferences and 40cm is just too big, we've also got all the 8cm tips right down to a 2mm size. And we've also got we had these a while ago, and then, I don't know, I just didn't order them. I don't know why. There are the twist combos. So they come in sizes, again, from I think 2mm up to a 5mm. And in them, they've got a 5cm tip, an 8cm tip, and a 13 and a 15cm cable. So you can make combinations. You don't have to have both 8cm on each side. You can have a 5cm and an 8cm. I think, let me see, I've got to read the back. It's up to 25cm circumference up to 31cm circumference. So that's a really fantastic kind of range. And often, like if you're doing your ribbing that's much skinnier, you need a smaller sort of circumference around here, and then as you go up your sleeve, or down, if you're doing top down, You can then just add in different sizes to make that circumference suit the amount of knitting that you've got. So that's a great way to try these little shorty sets. If you've completely fallen in love with them, we've got them in sets too. So there's the blue and the red here. And in it is, we've got, oops, popping out. We've got cables and stoppers and markers and all that kind of lovely stuff in there, and a needle gauge. And then you either go with the larger sizes, which is a 3.5 up to a 5 in the 5 and the 8 centimeters, or the red ones are 2 to 3.5. Now, the exciting thing is that at the end of the year, they're going to bring out a yellow shorty set, which is the larger sizes too. So we're looking forward to that, because we like a little set, don't we? It means you always have the right needle when you need it. So I hope that explained a little bit about why we're totally so thrilled about these 8 centimeter tips. We've looked at all of the different brands, and it's really, there's very few people who actually do that small tip that allow you to do small circumference sleeves and so on. So check them out.